and devotional segment is over. The Love Vibes is over. We're about to get into the meat of the matter, which is the reason why we tune in also to Point Blank in the morning, to be able to hear the word. Serious words. Words that will be able to open our minds and to see how this government continues to administer or manage our country. And this is what is happening, and we want you to basically truly understand what's happening. This morning, the topic for us is the definition of failed leaders. And I've had an opportunity to look at the political lifespan of Philip Pierre, Kenny Anthony, and when we got to 16-1 in 1996, I think it was, we thought, well, if they could come with 16-1, they will change this country for the better. Whether we voted for them, because I didn't, or whether we voted against them, we felt it was important that we give them that opportunity to prove themselves. And lo and behold, after 16-1, we witnessed corruption in oil exploration, inadequate, confusing presentations on Rochamel, questionable practices, things that really was not right here in this country. We saw all of that from 16-1. On the evening when Labour Party came in with 16-1, while I was crying and listening to the radio, at least I was comforted when Kenny Anthony, in his own words, said that we have a good day and a good night. And it could not have happened if it was not for the support of UWPs, we Flabos that abandoned their parties and voted for Labour in 1996. And he also went as far as to thank them and to assure the nation back then there would be no victimization. Absolutely no victimization. That is, government would treat those of us who had stood in opposition to the Labour Party with respect, because we had the right to oppose his government forthrightly, and that he would not hold it against those of us who had voted against the Labour Party because it was not right. No sooner had Kenny Anthony assured the nation that he would be Prime Minister of this country in 1996, suddenly the victimization started. Firing flabos here, left, right and center, and even persons they're not even sure if they're flabo. Just because they might look like a flabo, they lost their jobs when the Labour Party came to office in 1997. I correct myself, yes, 1997. And you know, as the string of victimization continues. They even wanted to pass laws that would control the journalistic aspects of this country, the media houses in this country, even threatening media personnel with lawsuits and jail time if they had decided to take this government on, or what they deemed lies about the incoming government. Folks, this is always what happens with leftist agendas, people with leftist agendas. Those who come in, even in a coup, they promise no victimization, that they will treat every single St. Lucian or every single citizen wherever in the world a revolution has happened with respect. And even when they come through the democratic process, they make those useless pronouncements only to go about making life as difficult as they can for the people of the country or the citizens who may not be in support of the government. We've seen it played out. We've seen it played out. And the lies that were said, the promises that were made are never kept. And this is where we are with the Labour Party since 1997. And to their credit, and it is true, they have won more elections in the last 25 years than the United Workers' Party. The period when UWPs had an oiled machinery and the executive branches throughout the country was more preoccupied with national interests than self-interest. We won elections. But the moment we departed from this, where the base of our party became secondary, and our ambitions became primary, the primary aspect of why we're in politics, the Labour Party have continued to win elections after elections in this country for the last 25 years. 25, 30 years. But folks, anytime the Labour Party is given the levers of responsibility here in this country, the fact is, they always choke. They always mess up. They always victimize poor St. Lucians. They do. They do. They make it almost difficult for you to earn a living here in this country, just because you chose to exercise your democratic rights to oppose them. And so 16-1 didn't turn out well for this country. Could you imagine a government coming to power with 16-1? Meaning that you're in control of almost every single constituency here in St. Lucia. And still you choked, and still you failed. These guys had an opportunity which John Compton never had. Because the most we've ever won in any electoral race is 14 seats to 3, which we did in 1982. But Labour has the medal, the cup, because they've won 16-1, and in this last elections they won 13-2, and 2 additional so-called independents, basically Labours, were added to make it 15-2. But guess who was part of the leadership of the Labour Party then? None other but Philippe Pierre. So Mario, Philippe Pierre, both deputy political leaders to Kenny Anthony in 1997. And guess what? They choked. They choked! Instead of things becoming better in this country, it started to unravel. And the criminal activities in this country escalated. Unemployment soared to heights that we had never seen here in this country. And the victimization of other St. Lucians continued with impunity. And guess what? There's not much that we can look back and say that they did to change this country for better. If you couldn't change the country with 16-1, it will be difficult to change the country with 15-2. And folks, before we move any further, I want you to just listen to the difference between a politician and a leader. And by that I mean, Labour Party constantly said to us, Alan is not a politician. Even some UWPs have even said that to me. Alan is not a politician. But guess what? You're not wrong. Of course he's not a politician. He's a leader. He's a statesman. That's who he is. He does not do things because of political expediency, because he wants to win an election, but because he has the interests of this country at heart. And so this morning, I just want you to listen between what's a politician, which is Philippe Pierre, Kenny Anthony, failed leaders, and the leader who is Alan Shastney. Yes, you say, not a politician. I buy this argument. I'm okay with you if that's what you want to believe. But I'd rather have a leader who stands on principles. I'd rather have a leader who does not mind taking tough decisions, even if it means losing at the polls, than a politician who does things for expedience, remains in office, and do nothing for the people of this country. Here we go. Listen to this.
Don't ever believe that a politician is a leader. Don't ever believe it. Because the system that we have produces politicians. It doesn't produce leaders. So you can have a politician.
Alright folks, just give me a moment here. I have to pause this music a while so we can start again. Just give me a moment, we'll start again. Okay, let's go. This music in the background is a bit of issues.
Because the system that we have produces politicians. two thoughts the next time you have a politician come to your house wanting to vie for your vote. Just ask him, what is your vision for my children? I will sit and listen for 20 minutes for you to tell me what it is. He will leave your house. Because he has no interest in your children's children. His concern is to stay in power, to keep the position, to win the next election. This is why they cannot lead. When you are going to have a conversation with a politician, you should actually try this as a test. You, by the way, as a citizen of a community, you have a right to be seen by the mayor. Hope you know that. If you voted for a mayor, the mayor works for you. Therefore, you have a right to see him. You can make an appointment to see any public officer you voted for. Did you know that? That's your legal right. If you don't want to see him, you can take him to court. That's democracy. So I want you to make an appointment to go and see your mayor or go and see your governor and just sit there. I want 30 minutes with you, sir. And ask him about that list right there. And sir, what is your purpose for being in leadership in this city? What is your purpose? The first question will make him very nervous. Second question, what's your passion for our community? You'll be wondering what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I just want to build roads and bridges and provide jobs. No. What is your passion? This is why we need to question the leaders we have. And so I have a little thought here. I call it politics versus leadership. Let's talk about it for a second. Number one, politicians focus on programs, not vision. Number two, politicians' priority is securing the next election, not securing the next generation. Their focus is different. Number three, politicians are preoccupied with promises, not purpose. What we need is statesmen. Statesmen. You don't need more politicians. A statesman is an interesting human. A statesman think of the next generation.
Okay, folks, here you have it. A statesman thinks of the next generation. A statesman is not preoccupied with winning just the next general elections. And folks, this has vindicated who Alan Shastney is or was as the Prime Minister of this country, meaning that he was, like John Compton, a visionary who was not afraid of taking tough decisions, even if it's going to cost him the next elections. When Sir John said to the civil servants in 1979, "You could put a gun to my head, but there's just not enough monies to pay you wage increases," he was not lying. He meant every word that he said back then. And when you said to Alan Shastney, "Moun paka manje, chine," he proceeded in upgrading the infrastructural development of this country because he was concerned that after COVID, our road system would be in a mess. And that when it's time for the economy to take flight, it would not be able to take flight. And today, the chickens have come home to roost. The same people who did not see the vision of Alan Shastney, could not understand what he wanted for this country in terms of a new airport, a state-of-the-art hospital in Beaufort, St. Jude's. Today, they can't even fix or put a little bit of asphalt in potholes. Tout pas, c'est à tout chimé, c'est tout pas ici, tout pas là, wonka formal. I even thought last Sunday, if you see, I did not get a relief from my backache, I might even sue this government. Seriously. When they bless to you, because of their stupidity. It's because of their ignorance and lies. Because they always want to be politicians and not visionaries and statesmen and leaders. They can't afford to be that. So the state of our road today is in a deplorable condition. They said to us, that means whenever it rains, the government of St. Lucia is on vacation. Mais la pluie te ka tombe Wednesday night though. Et kote yo te yo ba fe noue ka hop moun pa kay we yo ka block tout pas ici, tout pas là, tout pas là, tout pas ici, tout partout. C'est ça, c'est tout. Yo la ka block li. Blocking. They waited until nightfall. Traffic back from Grosley to Shock. Doing the same damn things they said could not be done in the middle of a rainy season. Hypocrites. Politicians, that's who they are. Politicians, that's what they are. Leaders, they are not. Visionaries, they are not. So when you say in your arguments that Alan Shastney is not a politician, you damn right is not a politician. Politicians lie. They lie to you through the skin of their teeth. They lie to you as to decree Jolio. And guess what? They can't be leaders either. Because, like we said earlier, they're too preoccupied in winning elections, even if they have to lie to you, make you believe, put you in illusion that things are right, when things in this country aren't good at all. This is what is happening here. This is what is happening in this dumb country of ours. Too many dumb politicians and too many few visionaries and leaders. I'm supporting Alan Shastney. I'm not afraid to say that I am in support of Alan Shastney. I could be a UWP, which I am, and not supportive of Alan Shastney. It's your right. But me TP, Therold Prudent, I am fully in support of Alan Shastney, because like Alan Shastney, I'm not a politician. I'm a visionary. I'm a leader. I want to see things happen. I make things happen. I don't talk the talk and don't walk the walk. So therefore, your medal of politician, you can keep it. We don't want it. Because if John Compton was not a leader and a visionary, this country would have failed. If Alan Shastney was not a leader and a visionary in the middle of COVID-19, we would have had so many loss of lives here in this country. And we saw what happened after July of 2021. Over 300 to 400 St. Lucians died as a result of politicians at the helm of your government and at the helm of your Ministry of Health. This is where we are. This is where we are. Always believing a politician over a visionary and over a leader. You know, but what makes me even more aggrieved is the fact that the Labour Party had the heart to even celebrate 6 terms of being in office by failed politicians such as Kenny Anthony and Philip Pierre. And I don't want you to listen to my words. I want you to hear it in your own ears. And through your own ears. Celebrating 6 terms of doing nothing for this country after 16-1. Every single step of the way, the failure of the last 25 years can rest with Philip Pierre and Kenny Anthony. All the wrongs in this country can be placed at their feet because these two men were in a position where they could have made a difference for their constituencies and for the country, but never did a damn. Just listen to that.
This week marked an historic occasion in the annals of the State Social Labour Party. 2 of their members, before South MP and Castries East MP, Dr. Kenny Anthony and Philip J. Pierre respectively, are celebrating 6 terms and over 25 years as parliamentarians. Their MPs spared no effort in paying homage to the stalwarts in song, dance, and musical renditions at a special mass at the Sacred Heart Roman Catholic Church at Marshall. Parish priest Father Raj also paid homage to the Marshall community, the de facto capital of Castries, which has not always received favorable coverage.
Welcome to Marshall, the great part of St. Lucia. Gone are the times when Marshall means violent, this and that. But now, Marshall is the place of all great talents. Whether it is Calypso Monarch Soca Monarch or Calypso King and the 4th place in Calypso, all are from Marshall. And we also had a Governor General from Marshall. And above all, we have a Prime Minister from Marshall.
The service also marked 1 year since the SLP's victory at the July 26, 2021 general elections. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre cited improving the lives of others as the main reason behind his solemn calling to elected office.
When you enter, when you leave, you have to leave and know that you've changed people's lives. You've made people better. That's why we have to give our children the laptops. That is why we have to fix them. And that is why we have to have the STEP program and the school program to give people school supplies for their children. This is why we have to do it. It's not about you, it's not about the cabinet.
Despite the cynical views about politics, former Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony waxed about the virtues of service to others. He also noted the unpredictability of political life.
One of the things that I've always said to him and members of the cabinet is, for me there's a simple rule in politics. Never ever be surprised by what happens in politics. If you may
retain them with us. Then whatever comes your way, you are better able to cope with it, to understand it, to adjust to it, and to live with it.
The SLP led by Dr. Kenny Anthony recorded a landslide victory at the polls over 25 years ago on May 24, 1997, winning 16 of the 17 parliamentary seats. Philip J. Pierre was part of that team in 1997 and became the parliamentary representative of Castries East after a failure in 1992 against the political giant in the late Romanus Lansico. Gina Filippi, HCS News.
Mese ukawe bagay lopo komo, ukatan bagay lopo komo. They referred to the service as historic. 25 years as parliamentarians and counting. But you realize not even the priest, Father Raj, even believed the nonsense that he was saying. I mean, I don't blame the father. He's on pilgrimage here to spread the word of Christ. I respect that. But they don't have a problem with him pandering to the Labour Party. But they have a problem with Pastor Garfield pandering to the UWP. So there is no criticism of the priest, Father Raj, for pandering to the Labour Party, but there is criticism of Brother Garfield, Pastor Garfield, for liking UWP. Hypocrites. And they talk about lifting people's life. But you have 25 years later, you have more people in this damn country who are in the abyss and pits of poverty in this country than we've ever had at any time whatsoever. And look at Masha. Look at the whole of Castries. Look at Viewford South. And tell me if you don't observe and see the degradation in those communities. Are you blind that you can't see? Are you deaf that you can't hear? And to realize that for 25 years, Philip Pierre and Kenny Anthony collectively have taken you on a journey of disaster. Look at the communities. Look at the constituencies. Gang violence. Huge unemployment. Youth confused about the way forward. Almost seem as if they have not been represented, which that probably is true in the last 25 years. And these fellows want to call themselves, success. You are dumb politicians, yes you are, not visionaries, not leaders, but politicians. You will do and say anything that you have to say and do to get elected. This is the stark difference between you and Alan Shastney. And the more you tell me, Alan Tetley wed, Ipagakute. But the fact is, how can Alan pander to the thinking of politicians when in truth and in fact, he's a leader and a visionary. You don't understand that. Some of you won't understand that. You will never get to understand that, because all you think is about how to promote your self-interest than promoting the interest of your country. And as long as you have a job, as long as you get a contract, as long as you can put bread on your table, go to hell with the rest of the country. Go to hell with the rest of the families out there who are going through a very difficult time, bitter days under a St. Lucia Labour Party government. These fellas aren't visionaries. They aren't statesmen either. And you know, 16-1 is not far from 15-2. And as I looked for the video, guess who was there? The St. Lucia Labour Party guy who is always denying he not Labour, he on a blue wave, Stevenson King. He is there to pay homage. He is there to give praise to men who once told him that he cannot even lead a Boy Scouts organization. The guy with no education, the foolish guy who bent over for Wycliffe and allowed a Haitian entertainer to fly over his head. This is the guy in attendance today, holding on to the apron strings of Philip Pierre and Kenny Anthony, promoting them as leaders and visionaries, when in truth, where King is concerned, this was the worst prime minister in the history of this entire country, next to Kenny Anthony and next to Philip Pierre. And it's a shameful history for the United Workers' Party to have had somebody like Stevenson King as your leader, a politician he was, and as your prime minister here in this country. If I have my way, I will strike his name from the annals of history and from the pages of history, because he never won an election. He was never successful in taking the UWP to victory. And I'm not talking about the third party. I'm talking about a major party like the UWP. Couldn't take it to victory. But guess what? Alan did. John Compton did. And guess what? Alan will do it again. And the fact remains, you can cry, you can pull out your hairs if you want to. Alan must come back. And Alan will come back. And when we come back, it will not be for a 5-year period, but for a 15-year period. Because this country will be run by visionaries and by leaders and not politicians. You know, Labour a fait nous chai méchanceté. Labour a fait nous un chai méchanceté et passe-toi en pays ça là. Yo ja bat flambeau, yo ja kick flambeau, yo ja kwaché à sous Jean flambeau. And there is not a damn thing that any of us can do about this. Failed leaders have spat on you, the people of this country, who have opposed them vehemently. and not a damn thing we can do to stop them. But I want to say to those of you who have a weak heart, those of you with agendas, ba nou an lè souple, ba nou anti lè souple pour nous take Labour on, for us to advance this cause to the Labour Party and to help elect a government of leaders and visionaries. That's what we want. Bonne chance pour nous faire ça. We don't care about your gripes. We don't care about your agendas. We care about the interest of this country. And the only way to lead this country forward is to go to a convention as soon as possible. Go to a convention as soon as possible, so we can elect the leaders that the people want, that your base wants, because you're accountable to them, as I've said repeatedly. And so we can then take on the Labour Party. But how can you take on the Labour Party when you're still struggling with a convention? Still struggling with a convention. Is that right? Is time on our side? That we believe after 15-2 we can go into a convention next year? That we can go into a convention next year? When the people who are out there fighting the cause for you, the people who are out there putting themselves in harm's way to be disrespected, are waiting patiently, very, very patiently, for the opportunity and the chance to elect leaders and visionaries to be able to first take the United Workers' Party forward, and then to take on the Labour Party. These guys have to go. They have to go. But they cannot go unless we make a decision to have a convention at its earliest. So when UWPs hear their leaders speak, they know who their leaders are, and they can listen to their leaders, not to talk show hosts, not to media strategists, so-called media strategists on Facebook. They will know that it's coming from their leaders. And UWP, the tide is rolling towards you. The change in this country has already begun, because the people of this country who are being hurt by the Labour Party are starting to speak up, are starting to make their views known of how they feel about this damn government. And if the tides are turning, if there is a shifting sand like it has begun to, the onus is upon us as an opposition, as United Workers' Party people, to put things in place and take this party to a convention and allow your supporters, who are in the thousands, the 37,400 people who voted for you and more this time, to rally around its leadership for the betterment and for the change of this country. It's what leaders do. Not putting no water in my mouth to speak this morning. I've never done that. Not going to play no diplomatic game this morning. I'm not. What is wrong is wrong. What is right is right. And I'm saying to you, set your country free. Set your country free. Go to a convention and start the wheels to remove this government from office. And to get the Labour Party off the backs of the people of this country. That's what we have to do. Don't play. Don't play with them. Because the moment we allow the Labour Party to keep on making mistakes, and we do not have men and women to hold them accountable, you know something? They can still come back and win the next elections. Because of the time wasted in not putting things together and the machinery of this party together to stand to the Labour Party. I have never seen a UWP so energized. I have never seen a UWP, and by that I'm talking about the best of the UWP, so energized and ready to stand up to the Labour Party. I've never seen anything like that. And so, as you see in the diaspora, action is happening in the diaspora. The formation of flabo caucuses in New York, in Canada, soon in Martinique, in the United Kingdom, soon in the Virgin Islands, and so forth and so forth. I am telling you, these are the signs of the time. Your people are ready. Your people are ready to remove this government off its back and to remove and wipe out the legacy of laziness, incompetence of Philip Pierre and Kenny Anthony and all associated to them. They are ready. And if they are ready, don't tell them, go to bed and we'll come back for you tomorrow. Seize the opportunity right now. Seize the opportunity right now to embrace your people, to embrace that movement for change in this country. Because I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of the processes of always, like, you have so many impediments in the way of progress. I'm tired of it. And so, I'm not going to bed if that's what you hope I will do. Makaidomi. And I want to encourage supporters of the United Workers' Party to do not go to bed. Do not go to sleep. Because the day you decide to go to sleep and go to bed and waiting for that call to tell you arise, Labour will have already taken care of their business, loot this country, victimize your brothers and sisters, and leave you hopeless because their machinery is back intact. They've learned from the lessons which they never will but pretend as if they've learned, and could easily, like that, win the next elections. Not in politics for games. I am not in politics for games. And I am not in politics for gains either. I'm devoting myself, and likewise thousands of other people out there are devoting themselves to the cause of the UWP. And it's time to awake from the slumber and lead a progressive and enthusiastic and resilient and eager organization to victory in the next elections. And our work will not start 2 years before the elections or 3 years before the elections. It must start now. And it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with Alan Chasney. It starts with the executive of the United Workers' Party. And it starts with all 37,400 voters who went to the poll to try to elect the United Workers' Party with Alan Chasney, a leader and visionary, at its helm. Once we do things we lost, that is not right, we lose the narrative. We see that narrative to the Labour Party. But guess what? Flabo people was on their backsides about the roads. Credit to you all. Credit to you all. Credit to you all. Had it not been for your voices here on Sky FM, on social media, on the Flabo train, on supporters of the UWP, they would not have felt the wrath of the people of this country. And quickly, in the dead of night, you buy many and touchlight. Mais one man, you n'as qu'à foutre asphalt en tout. Tout pas ici, tout pas là. That's Labour for you. And guess where they started? They started just after the sign that says Julian R. Hunt Highway, or whatever they call it. Because what was it? It was an eyesore for them. They were not doing it for you. They were not doing it for you. They were not doing it for you. They were doing it to preserve the legacy of Julian Hunt, and that it will not look that bad to see right in front or after that sign, Lantu Consorticia I Puerto Rico. That's what they were doing. And so, as they call places like New Spain, to let their anger be known, to let their dissatisfaction be known, you Flabos, you the supporters of the United Workers' Party, must take credit for the Labour Party acting so swiftly and so quickly. And guess what? Their work have just begun. And Stevenson King can say whatever he wants. Labour Party better watch him too. Because if they don't watch him, the lazy man that he is, the lazy politician that he is, will move things at snail pace. King don't care about nobody. King don't care about anyone. All he cares about is his paycheck, his salary, and that's all that matters to him. But guess what? Philippe got the word. Kenny Anthony got the word. Healy got the word. Emma got the word. Kenson Cartiner got the word. That they better act right now, or else Kaka show. Kaka commence à mawe côté ia. Bagay kay show. Bagay kay show pe ia. If they continue to fool around with the roads and fixing of roads here in this country. You're already doing bad with crime. You're already doing bad with job creation. Et pas même chimé ou s'arranger. Pas même chimé, not in potholes you can block. And you feel proud of yourself. You feel proud of yourselves. How dare you you feel proud of yourselves. But I must again give that bell to the supporters of the United Workers' Party who are fearless on social media, fearless on Newsbeam, fearless on Sky FM and on Point Blank, and everywhere they could get to spread the word that the roads in this country was in a deplorable state. They did so. And thank you to all those in United Park and so forth who led that fight to ensure that people became aware of how lazy an infrastructure minister you've got and how clueless a government headed by Philip Pierre, supported again by Kenny Anthony, another failed politician, really is. You know, Mame Globush mwen pale. Sa ki fache sa touf. Sou pa kote sangadia touf. Because already this morning on my way here, met a couple of Labour boys on Notre Dame Street in Rosalie. Jacques Avoué Powell Bamwe. Kavoué Powell Bamwe. So for heaven's sake, si yo Kavoué Powell Bamwe, because nga mette come there wo by Flabo. Nga di Flabo, it's time to mette cold wo. So that tout moun sa wè ou, et tout moun sa continue pour comprendre qui côté nous vle mener partisan nous, et qui manière nous vle bâti pays nous en bas Alan Chasney et puis un gouvernement Flabo. This is important. This is important to me. This is important to all 37,400 supporters who remained true to the party in the darkest of the hour, did not retreat, still went to the polls and voted for the United Workers' Party, even if we knew that there were thousands throughout the country, UWP supporters, who did not go out to vote, and some who actually and physically went to the polls and voted for the Labour Party. This is what it is. Politics is not a game. It's not a game for me. It's not a game for me. And if you don't understand, look at how Labour has taken us for a ride. 10 years ago, Kenny Anthony, when he won the second time, or I think they came to power the third time or something like that, he claimed that he was going to inject $100 million into the economy of this country. And what happened? They all choked. And right behind him, guess what's behind him? Guess whose face is behind him? None other but Philip Pierre, a protege, a student of a failed leader called Kenny Anthony. And that's why you think you're hoping for Philip Pierre to succeed? Philip Pierre cannot succeed because he learned from one of the worst politicians in this country, which is Kenny Anthony. Remember, I call him a politician. I didn't call him a leader. I didn't call him a visionary. Because Philip Pierre learned how to lie, how to say things that are untrue, how to say things that you, the masses of the people, want to hear, and not what is right, what is palatable to you. And Philip Pierre has become a master of deception, a master at disseminating false information, a master at lying to you, the people of this country, because he learned from the best. He learned from Kenny Anthony. Listen to those liars.
Unemployment was higher Trump, on the one hand, some of the attacking bar, we cannot tell you the exact amount right now, but that is why I'm only absolutely frank with the public institution. We have to get this economy on a board path. Initially, some of that will be done, but I'm also very confident that the balance will be able to secure. In addition to that, the SLP says if it assumes office, it will embark on an island-wide reconstruction program, which will include the repairing of bridges and the road network. The SLP has also promised to reintroduce a new and improved step program with a focus on impoverished communities such as ancillary and canneries. Corporate tax reduction and the provision of grant funding. The Labour Party intends to support companies in employment expansion by providing training for secondary school students. But there are some activities that this government will want to embark on almost immediately on the assumption of office. That includes a $100 million injection because we cannot wait to one more day. Businesses are collapsing everywhere. Unemployment has shot up very significantly. We just have to go around the country and understand the malaise of the tech speak. So right now, the people of solution do require money in their pockets to be able to maintain the normal requirements of living. According to the SLP, Solutions unemployment rate skyrocketed from 13.6% in 2006.
So folks, so you hear that? You hear that? They had all of the remedies, all of the lies. Just like your 1,500 Ubaka Jimejwen, we never saw $100 million pumped into the economy of this country. This is what Labour has done. This is how Labour takes us for a ride. This is how Labour continues to play on the ignorance of the Malawi, the so-called Malawi here in this country. And they do it repeatedly. They do it with impunity. Because they know that the UWP has a tendency sometimes of sleeping on themselves in opposition. They know that. And I'm asking, how long will we allow such nonsense to continue without a challenge, a serious challenge to the mismanagement of this country? How long are we going to permit it to continue? And you know, to make matters worse, you have blame it on the rain, Philippe, Mr. Humpty Dumpty, protege of Kenny Anthony, learned from the best in terms of misinformation, in terms of unkept promises. And he himself is no different. I want to take you a journey. I know you've listened to that tape, but I want you to hear him again, addressing that burning issue of crime. I'm showing you a pattern of lies, a pattern of don't blame me, blame the rain, blame the police, blame everybody, but don't blame Kenny, don't blame Philip, don't blame them. I want to show you a pattern and how these guys continue to operate. Listen to this.
The situation is alarming. It's alarming. I'll tell you honestly, it's alarming. So, I hope to get the cooperation of the police and I've said to the police that they must look at their legacy. It's not a matter of who was affected. It's a matter of what are you leaving when you depart from the police force. Are you living in a situation where there was a highest murder rate? That may sound bad for the government, may sound bad for the Prime Minister. But the question is, I want to instill in the police, they must have pride in their work. I know it's a difficult task. My father was a policeman. I understand the task of policing. And then look at that. I want to urge them to have some pride. Do it for themselves, for their country, for their children and their grandchildren. Have some pride. Let us fight this menace together.
The Prime Minister promised to lend tangible support as well as provide encouragement to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force and repeated his pledge not to get involved in operational matters of either the police or the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
We cannot interfere in the runnings of the DPP's office. And I'm very firm about that. We will not interfere in the runnings of the DPP office. My job as the Prime Minister and the Minister of Justice, as far as the DPP is concerned, all I have to do, what I must do is give the resources that are within the fiscal realities of the government. But I cannot interfere. I will not interfere.
Shut up. You can't interfere. Shut up, because you can't interfere. You're able to provide a policy, a set of written policy and guidance to the St. Lucia police force in terms of what and how your government wish to tackle crime in this country. Stop blaming your father the same way I'm not blaming my father, who was a police just like your father. Not blaming him for how they handled crime here in their day. You're Minister of National Security. You're the minister responsible for national security here in this country. But you claim that the situation of crime is alarming, but yet still, you will not interfere. You will not interfere. You will not interfere as Minister of National Security? What is wrong with this man? What is wrong with this man? I understand you're weak. I understand that you're not a leader. I understand that you're a visionary. You're not a visionary. You're not a visionary. But for heaven's sakes, soon do star politician, which who star politician. For heaven's sakes, commencez di nou bagay qui ka fè sens. Continuez mentir ba nous, qu'on ka mentir tous les jours. Continuez mentir by le peuple en pays ça là. Continue to lie to us. But make sure if you are going to lie to us, at least some of us believe that in all your lies, something makes sense. And absolutely nothing makes sense with you at the helm of this government. So 25 years, 6 terms, 25 years of representing Masha Castrizis. And yet still, where are we? We are nowhere. We are nowhere. They are nowhere. The same problems and most of the problems that started with you 25 years ago still continue to exist in your constituency and in Kenny Anthony's constituency. And to those of you labor hacks, you labor hacks this morning who tried to accost me this morning and tried to send words, I'll talk to you when you can match my intellect. I will talk to you when you can match my intellect. And unless you can come to me with things that make sense and present your arguments in a way that I can respect and at least sit down and have a conversation with you, I'll not waste my time on those persons who will never be converted to UWP. I will not waste my time. We have a country to save. We have a country to save. And in saving that country, it means that we have to reach out to those who are truly feeling the pinch and the disaster of SLP mismanagement of this country. You I want to talk to. At least I know your goodness in your heart for your country will allow you to change and be receptive to the message of change. But not those of you whose tête mwel zot habrile. No matter combien bagay mwen kay di, ben flambeau kay di. Zot abwe vie koule de la. You will be drowning in it. I don't have the time to waste on people who don't love their country. I don't have time to waste on anyone who do not wish to put their country first. And I'm always open to a debate. I'm always open to an argument. But you better come right with me. Even if I disagree with you, your points must make sense. And if your points do not make sense, I understand very well that you've dismissed your country. And so if you've dismissed your country and the perils in your country, that means I can't be dismissive of you too. Because I know not everyone are like you hacks. That small grouping that wait for crumbs from the labor table, hoping they can feed their families. I'm more concerned about those who are hurting. The crumbs will never get to the tables because you have too many vultures ready to pick up the crumbs from Philip Pierre, from Kenny Anthony, from Richard Frederick, from Stevenson King. I'm concerned about those in the bottom. Those who have not given the opportunity to be able to rise from the ashes of poverty and to see life in this country in a newness and in a new way, because they are humble enough to understand they made a mistake and that mistake can be corrected. I'm willing to listen to you. Maka koute pièce moun mwen tèt yo a brûlé. Maka koute pièce moun ki jabwe kouled Kenny Anthony ek Philippien. Maka koute pièce moun ki pa vle ni an honest conversation. Pa westan mwen ek étoile tout kate magie about l'Ébat pour justify un gouvernement ou savent qui pas qu'à travailler en l'été Jean Saint-Lucie. This is where I stand. On the side of progress. I didn't come back home to fool around. I came back home to remove this government from office. I came back home to make sure that the next government of St. Lucia is represented by Alan Shasley and the UWP government. That's my task. That's what I'm into. This is what fuels me and make me feel that it's important. Okay, folks, the glitch again, but I'm back. And that's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. Change, progress. I don't have an agenda. Well, yes, I have an agenda. My agenda is to remove the St. Lucia Labour Party from government, and that is my agenda. My agenda is to make sure Alan Shasley is the next Prime Minister of this country, and this is my agenda. So if you don't like it, toof. If you don't like it, that's okay. And I don't always have to agree with everything Alan says, but I will always have respect for him like he has respect for me. This is who I am. And when I disagree with him, it will be done behind closed doors. It will not be done in an environment which seeks to belittle him in public, so that all Labours can hear you disrespecting your leader. That's not who I am. Leaders will make mistakes, but they must be treated with respect. And I will afford to him that respect even when we disagree on matters of significance, in terms of policy, in terms of how we take this party forward, or how this country is moved forward. This is what makes us strong. This is what makes us strong. This is what's going to turn the tide of disunity in this party. And I don't care if you tell me, don't say it, I will say it. It's just a handful. We need to reconcile our differences, and we need to take this party to a convention, which is long overdue. Absolutely overdue. So we don't have to listen anymore to the likes of Philip Pierre. We don't have to listen to Richard Frederick, because when we finish with him, he'll have to go and not say, how can I help you? He'll tell the people of Central Castries and the people of this country, I'm done. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm fighting for. We don't have to listen to the likes of Alva, Stevenson King, Odesile, Emma, Kenson Kazime. We don't have to listen to any one of them. And if you are happy in listening to them, I can tell you the majority of Flambos are tired of these people. And so we can only show strength by going into a convention, letting the leaders of the United Workers' Party speak for the United Workers' Party, and also allowing the followers and supporters of the United Workers' Party, including even those who disagree with us when UWP comes to power, to become participants in the management of the country. Utangwe? Allowing St. Lucians to become participants in the management of the country. Don't believe because you hold positions, no one can talk to you. And when we get to power, don't believe that just because you're minister, no one can talk to you. The day you dislodge yourself from the people, the day you do not give the people the right to participate in the management of the country, by you always giving them a listening ear, is the day a UWP government comes undone. And Sir John did that. Listen. Henry Girardi listened. He would take that phone and call Sir John and say, listen, this has not been done. Sabakofet, how comes? Where are we with that? This is what we're talking about. Honest discussion, honest disagreement, but with one focus in mind, which is to remove the St. Lucia Labour Party from government. Now, I just want to play one last clip for you before we start taking the calls. And just give me a moment, let us get that clip together, and I'll show you how much of a liar that Philip Pierre is. Again, I know you know that. And how much he has learned from Kenny Anthony, and how much Kenny Anthony has failed, and how much Philip Pierre will continue to fail. Here is Philip Pierre in our final clip before we play the song from Grams Morgan and start taking your call. Philip Pierre.
Opposition leader and leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Philip Pierre, is promising an administration free of resentment if the party gets into office. Voters will head to the polls on Monday, July 26, 2024 to choose a new government. Pierre, who was a guest on Radio 100's Outgrowth Inc., was questioned about what changes would be implemented a day after the elections. He vows to stamp out victimization and encourage more inclusion and togetherness.
How would St. Lucia be different come Tuesday, the 27th?
Very different in that, in my first interest to the people of St. Lucia, I would ask them to forget the rancor. I really believe in inclusion. I really believe that you cannot ostracize 35 or 40% of the people because they voted for somebody else. So I want to show the people of St. Lucia that our government will not be a government of vindictiveness. Our government will not be a government of rancor. Our government is to bring people together.
Pierre is campaigning on an economic platform on putting St. Lucia first, from tax relief to social programs. He called on citizens to refrain from engaging in hostilities. In addition to a government of inclusion, he pledged to give MPs a chance to make a change in their constituencies.
We are inheriting the worst performing economy in the OECS.
You lie.
Inheriting $5 billion of debt.
That's a lie.
Crime. And by the way, I understand.
You're a liar.
That's nice.
Yeah, you're a liar. Liar. Hear that? He promised that if Labour had come to office, that he would be promoting inclusion. He would encourage St. Lucians to stop the rancor or the arguments between them. Closing ranks and let's fight for our country. But hypocrite as you are, you encourage Labour Party supporters to go in the face of flabbos and tell them repeatedly, I beat you. When you came to office, you fired every single UWP that worked for care program was fired and sent home. Every single one of them. In city council, everywhere there is a semblance of UWP, you victimize them. But that was the same guy, like Kenny Anthony, on the evening, I think it was of July of 1997, told St. Lucians that this government would be a government for all the people. And that he, Philip Pierre, and he, Kenny Anthony, back then, of which Philip Pierre was a part of that government. You see, you learn from the worst. You learn from the worst. So when you come to office, you have to act like the worst, because that's what you are. You have to act like the worst. Victimizing St. Lucians. Victimizing every UWPs, firing every single one of them. Just today I saw on Facebook this young lady pleading for a job because she was fired from the CARES program. She has 3 children and just hope that somebody would at least acknowledge her because she's going for the squeeze. She didn't advocate partisanship in her request to be given her employment back. She's willing for anybody who can legally employ her to give her a job. And that's where we are. That's where we are. You've made life difficult for every single flabbos. And so the leadership of our party must recognize not only the sufferings of the people of the Labour Party, but recognize the sufferings of fellow UWPs who have lost their jobs, are scranting at the bottom of the barrel right now because of a Labour government. And understand the urgency to whip ourselves up, pick up ourselves, and whip ourselves back into action to put a full stop to Philip Pierre and the deceitful and vindictive Labour government. Folks, the choice is ours. I can't say anything more anymore. The choice is ours. We either embrace change that will deliver the countless flappers who were fired and the countless members or supporters of the SLP who are eating, I will not say it. There can where is there? You can where is there, wisdom? And this is what I am concerned about. And so, as we move forward, this is what we face. Difficult times ahead. And so, I'm saying to you, the onus is upon us. The onus is upon us to be able to make that difference. The onus is upon us to be able to stand up for those who are hurting right now. And there are plenty who are hurting, not just Labour Party supporters, but also supporters of the United Workers' Party are suffering. Folks, I long to see the day when the signal is given that we are ready. We are ready to go out there like an army, like a mighty army, to uproot this government, to uproot this government of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and to remove Philip Pierre from this position that he is so incompetent and unable to perform in. Ladies and gentlemen, Grams Morgan. And in the end of the song, it's your moment to give us a call at 456-0931 or 485-0931. I know that you've been busy trying to call, but when the song ends, it's your moment. Yes. Okay, folks, after the song, you can give us a call at 456-0931 and 485-0931. Yes. Wow. Yes, folks. This is where we are. This is where we are. People like you. And the lines are open. So don't hesitate to give us a call at 456-0931 and 485-0931. It's your opportunity to give us a call. We welcome that call right now. So please give us a call and share your views. It's important that we hear from you. And by letting us know how you feel, gives me a gauge as to what you think or what you're thinking about what's currently happening in this country, and it helps position me to be able to have that dialogue with you. Okay, we have a call coming in. Hello, Carly, you're on the air. This is TP.
Brother TP, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. We just been having a lot of rain and it's a little chilly on our side.
Okay. Yes.
Brother TP, I've been doing some reflection. I know Proteins have been telling me they're not very important.
Yes.
One thing.
Mhm.
A little break.
Yes.
Because between honestly, I was contemplating on my political future in terms of my political involvement.
Wow.
Which is some challenge.
Yes.
So I was contemplating on how my political move.
Don't do it.
But when I listened to your inspiring message this morning, I cannot stop. I have to continue to advocate for the downtrodden, the people who are suffering.
That's right.
I have to, just like you, Brother T, and many others who love their country, who are genuinely patriots to their countries and regions.
That's right.
I have to keep on the path.
Yes. Are you there? Okay, I think we lost that caller. I'm not sure what happened, but we've lost the caller. So it's reconnecting. So very likely give us a call back again, because probably because of the rain up there, you're calling on the WhatsApp line and it's recurring. So give us a call back again, Ian. We'd like to hear from you and to continue your contribution to the show. Folks, the lines are open. If you can give us a call, kindly do so. We are at 456-0931 and 485-0931. I know the weather is bad in New York and in other areas, and you have a lot of rain, and so at least those of you in St. Lucia, you can also give us a call, because at least we don't have the weather may be a bit on the gloomy side, a little bit cloudy, but I know that you can still give us a call and we can have a chat and a conversation here this afternoon. In the meantime, I will play a song from Jimmy Cliff, I think. Let's see here. Okay, we'll play a song from Jimmy Cliff until we get some calls this morning. All right, folks, 456-0931 and 485-0931. We're awaiting your call. We know the weather is bad out there, and so access to us via WhatsApp isn't working, but try give us a call, please. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Yes? One second. Okay, can you hear me? Do we have you, caller? Yes, can you hear me? I'm hearing you from a distance, like a muffled sound. Okay, we have to. Okay, but we're hearing you very, very low. That's what I'm saying. Okay, can you speak a bit louder? Yeah. Yeah, I got your point. It's just that it's a bit low, and I wish a lot of my listeners could hear some of the valuable contribution that you're making now. Yes.
Almost in our mind that we need to rescue the country. The country is not in a good place.
Yeah.
You have a prime minister who's clueless, who does not have any vision. We all know that. Every time he goes out there, embarrassment. When you tell me in 2022, brother TP, you have a prime minister coming up to New York, when questioned about the deplorable conditions of our roads, would say to the St. Lucian people and the world that the St. Lucian Labour Party government is incapable of fixing the roads because it rains in St. Lucia. It's a total embarrassment.
Yes. Yes.
And an embarrassment doesn't stop there, to continue. When you have a government, a prime minister, who would attend a court hearing of Ernest Healy, and when questioned why he made it his duty to be present, he said to the media and the world that he was there because he wanted to see that justice was served.
Yes.
We have to continue speaking, brother TP, and we have to continue being the voice for the voiceless. When you have a government who never before we saw shortages of sugar and rice, basic commodities in St. Lucia, we have to continue speaking. We have to continue to be the voice of the voiceless. When you have a government that is incapable of managing crime, sadly we heard of another murder homicide in the Shantytown area in Beaufort today. A young man got killed.
Yes.
That is a sad state for our country. The government of the St. Lucia Labour Party does not have a plan. Their rhetoric and their lies continue and excuses. And rather than tackle the pertinent issues, their hacks will attack you if you speak in the most vile way and viciously. But we cannot stop talking. Because if we stop talking, soon from now, very soon from now, we will not have a St. Lucia to enjoy.
Yes.
And we all love St. Lucia. Whether you're United Workers Party supporter or St. Lucia Labour Party supporter, St. Lucia belongs to each and every one of us. But there comes a time when you have to say to a government, if you're not delivering, you have to get out and give a group of men and women who are competent enough to manage the affairs of the country.
Yes.
And this is where we are at this present moment.
This is correct.
We have a bunch of men and women in called the Social Labour Party cabinet who is very incapable.
That's right.
Who are very incompetent.
That's right.
Of managing the affairs of the country.
That's right.
Brother TP, I'll ask you a question and answer me frankly. Tell me one thing that is working in St. Lucia right now. One.
The only thing that's working in St. Lucia is drinking alcohol. That's good. The drinking alcohol, the only thing that's working. And people,
that is all.
And people are drowning their sorrows away by just drinking and drinking and drinking. Yes.
When a government, and you saw right, TP, great answer. When a government can forego $6 million for carnival because they figure that is the only way people can be distracted from the pertinent or the important issues of the country, we are in serious trouble. This government came into office on July 26th. Excuses after excuses after excuses. They stopped all capital projects, which makes no sense. You got a platform, continue the projects. They are meaningful projects for the country.
Mm-hmm.
You stop all the road construction.
That's right.
You stop the St. Jude's hospital.
Yes.
You stop the Uranora International Redevelopment Project. That's a project that is beneficial and futuristic for the development of the country, St. Lucia.
That's right.
Thousands of persons who place on the breadline, construction workers, those who were engaged, gainfully employed, lost their jobs, lost their income, and people party hacks, Labour Party hacks, making excuses for this government.
That's right.
Brother TP, thank you very much for your message of inspiration. You motivated me to keep on fighting and speaking.
Keep fighting.
For the downtrodden.
Keep fighting. Yes.
I was contemplating on giving up handing my political boots.
Do not
but
do
with
that.
your inspiring message today, it gave me that extra boost and pep in my step to keep on speaking.
Yes.
Keep on advocating for people who cannot.
Please do.
Who need advocating for.
Yes.
Keep on speaking for the number of single mothers who lost their jobs through the caregiver program.
This is right.
Who were fired by this vindictive Labour Party administration.
This is right.
Keep on speaking.
Yes.
And that's what I'll continue to do. And I just want to say to you, Brother TP, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you,
my brother.
Yes.
I love you for what you're doing. I love you for the stance that you take.
Yes.
I love you for being a true patriot to St. Lucia and your party. And once we keep on doing what we're doing, one day, St. Lucia will be liberated from the hands of the most vindictive, incompetent government that I've ever experienced in the history of St. Lucia. So, Brother TP, I love you. Have a blessed weekend.
Yes.
And stay safe, my brother.
Thank you.
We'll talk later.
Very good. Very good contribution by our brother Ian Cauldron. He's also the PRO for the Flambeau Caucus. Folks, the lines are open. You need to give us a call. Call us as soon as you can. And so we have the ant nest coming in afterwards, but you do have a few more minutes left to be able to make your contribution. At least we want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking, and we can't really honestly know what you're thinking unless you decide to give us a call and participate, because that's what it is. This is not the time to go cold. This is not the time to go quiet. This is not the time to feel despondent. This is the time to come out and speak your mind and let us know exactly what you're thinking. And so I go back to Jimmy Cliff with "You can get it if you really want," because the United Workers' Party can get this government out of office if it really wants. We'll take that call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. This is TP. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Yes, we're afternoon now. How are you?
I'm not so good. Yeah, I just wanted before to let you be aware of a couple of technical keys.
Yes.
Yeah, for the Facebook page, the inserts that we were playing, it was very audible. I have to switch to the line.
Okay.
to hear
Okay.
the things that you were saying on the, so through the Facebook page. It was very,
From the clips, yes.
very, very good.
On the Facebook page, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll have to point that out to
And
you.
right,
Yes.
yeah. Right, so you need to, you want to check on that.
Yeah.
And even right now, as we're speaking, there's a serious feedback
Mm-hmm.
as I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hearing myself back. Yes. So I hope you hear me clearly, but
I can hear you very clearly. I can hear you very clearly.
Right,
Yes.
okay. I think whatever you did there, it seems to have worked a little bit.
Okay.
The feedback is a little lower, but,
Okay.
but there's some feedback.
Okay.
I'm hearing it myself. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Alright, so another thing before I go on, just want to inform people that the road is closed, it's blocked off from the Corinth Gap.
No.
I have no idea why. I passed there, I saw the workers just sitting around, all the potholes down that way.
You mean that beautiful road that Spider just redid just a year ago is
No, from the shop
Oh,
from the shop gap to
from the
Corinth,
shop.
to the
Oh,
Corinth
okay,
gap.
okay.
Yeah, going
Okay.
towards Castries, it's
Yes.
blocked off there, so you have to detour into Corinth.
Okay. All right. So, or maybe I might, if I'm fortunate, I might have someone.
People should just detour.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said if I'm fortunate, then I might have somebody come in and get me with a helicopter. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so if someone is coming to meet you, it's best they just pass by
Yes.
the bridge, the Sunday Bridge there one time,
Yes,
and just
yes.
pass at the back and come out through Mega J Reunion.
Okay, very good. Okay.
Okay, so I don't know, that was about 2 hours or about an hour and a half ago.
Yes.
It was 2 hours when I came up.
Yes.
The guys I saw all the photos pretty much covered up. The guys were
Yes.
just there, but the road was closed for, I don't know what reason it was closed for.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's hope it's resolved now. Yes. Okay, so heading on to some business now. See, what I'm hearing is a bit frightening insofar as what is going on within the party. Yesterday, Champagne made a revelation that it appears the convention is being put off until June next year to accommodate somebody who wants to vie for the leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And TP, I sincerely hope that there is something in place that will not allow this to happen, TP.
Yes.
Because if this interim board was put into office, I imagine when they were put in there was no board to put them in because by virtue of the loss, I guess the whole executive was dissolved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they were inserted there to do a job, which as far as I'm seeing, is not being done because you hardly hear from them anyways. You hear the same voices all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know where the party is going. If I'm not mistaken, isn't there supposed to be a convention annually? And if somebody wants to,
Based on the constitution, you should have an annual convention, and anybody can vie for any position they want to. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So and it's only at the convention that the political leader could be appointed, right?
This is correct. Yes.
Exactly. So right now we are going contrary to the rules and regulations and the constitution of the United Workers' Party. So this in itself needs to be corrected, right? So
You're talking about the lapses in having the convention. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, not only that, based on what Champagne is saying, there are a number of pre-steps
a number of things. You have to have the women's conference. You have to have the youth conference.
Right, you have all these things. You have delegates, conference. All you mentioned about at least 4 different things that precedes the convention, and none of that has happened yet.
Yes.
So we need to take the bull by the horn. This cannot be allowed to happen, especially in the climate we are, in the state the country is already is and facing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, when the Prime Minister goes to New York and represents St. Lucia in that way, telling people you can't fix roads because of rain.
This is crazy.
And then Wednesday night, as if there was sunshine in the night,
yes,
roads were being fixed at the inconvenience
of motorists, yes.
After a long,
And if you
after
see,
a long day's work,
if you see the amount of
trying to get
people,
to their home.
if you see the amount of people who were gathered at the bus stands, I've never seen that before. It's a huge crowd. I even thought
But
for a moment it was an
obviously,
accident or
because the buses
something.
cannot
Yes,
come through.
yes, people can't get any
Yeah,
bus to pick them
that's what
up.
I thought, because
Yes.
when I left my home,
Yes,
I swung because I was thinking of going up. I swung there, and I saw the whole backup. So I thought, oh my goodness, looks like there was an accident.
yes,
Only to find out, 2 hours later when I was passing by, the traffic was still backed up.
yes, yes, yes,
I had to cross in the back roads to get to my house.
Yes.
So, I mean, this was really, really disrespectful.
I think so too.
The Ministry of Communication and the
I
government
agree.
by extension.
yes,
So, it just goes to show the lack of how little regard that they hold the people of St. Lucia
Yes.
actually voted for them to be
Yes.
into office.
That's right.
I mean, it will be insightful to the opposition. Well, what's new? But
exactly.
I am sure it's not only UWP supporters that lives up in the Rodney area.
Yes,
And to do that was very, very disrespectful.
I agree
and
with
it was
you.
a shameful thing.
I agree, because we didn't have a clue. I left Rosalie at snail pace. It was bumper to bumper. When I got into Redry at the first bus stop there, I saw so many people gathered there, and you could tell these people are angry. They're frustrated. They're angry with everything because they've worked hard and they're just trying to get back home and can't even get a bus to pick them up because everything is bumper to bumper. No explanation, no advance warning to anyone. But I mean, when we know the pressure there, because when Kaka Show and Flabo's on Facebook and everywhere putting pressure on you, Newspin, they're putting pressure on you on Sky FM, you've lost your even your understanding that you should at least notify people that you intend to fix the road. But they felt that they could do that quietly and nobody would observe, and then tomorrow morning they would just see the potholes are taken care of. But it didn't augur well for them.
But TP, when you think about it, fixing the pothole at rush hour it is just an imprudent thing to do. I mean, it is a backward thinking.
Exactly.
The bus driver suffered.
Yes.
The bus driver suffered.
Yes.
Because obviously they were stuck in traffic.
That's
They
right.
couldn't get to commute to people as they were.
That's right.
I'm to date, I've not heard anything. Imagine the president of the buses, whatever, the MTRC, whatever you call
Yes.
them. He came on the air and he said that we will have no association filing a report of pothole.
Yeah.
I mean, how ridiculous.
I almost wanted to sue these guys on Sunday. So to say to us, yeah. This is
So the
crazy.
president is telling the people that he himself doesn't drive on the road because he has not observed the pothole.
Yes, he
So
don't care.
he needs an association to send in a letter saying, boy, we have potholes. I mean, this is so disingenuous, of the president or the vice president, so I'm not sure which one of them,
Yes.
to come on the national airwaves to say such ridiculous things. Not to mention, TP, the world is pulling over the eyes of the drivers.
This is right.
By accepting a 25 cents
Increase, yes.
at a $4 increase
Yes.
to fuel.
Yes.
And it's about it's 2 months now that the gas prices are going up on the world market. And to spit further in our eye, the government reduces it after 2 months by 25 cents.
Yes.
And the president of the medical service have nothing to say on that. He has no comment.
Yes.
I mean, it is, I don't know. This country is really, it is really in a sad state of affairs politically. I mean, we need to, that polarization really needs to,
Yes.
we need to find a way to depolarize it and get people to think about the country.
And to get leaders and visionaries to run for office as opposed to politicians, and that is the problem. You understand? So if you are politicians running, they'll tell you what you want to hear. They'll do things because of political expedience, not because they truly believe in tomorrow's future and in tomorrow's children. They would be worried more about, can I get elected? And that is the problem here in this country.
Exactly, because there is time for politics and politicking.
Yes.
But the business of the country must always be in the forefront of those people who are putting themselves up to represent people.
That's right.
It cannot be the party, it cannot be your personal gain and all these things
Yes.
consistently. And the country is going down the drain
That's right.
day by day.
That's right.
That is ridiculous, and we need to do something.
Yes.
So at this point today, I would like to make a serious appeal to Mr. Shastley, who is vying for the leadership of the country, to return home at the soonest, because he cannot run the party from overseas. He needs to be on the ground, and he needs to be working the people. He needs to be working the base and rivaling up his people for a soon to be elected. We do not know when this government is going to collapse.
Yes.
Very soon, TP, this
yeah.
government will not be able to pay the civil servants because they are only dependent on the gas tax at this point. Businesses are suffering, you know. The electricity bills are as high as this, and it's being passed up to the people, to the clients. You know, gas price is high, everything is high. This is not sustainable. There's going to be a collapse, and it's going to happen very soon if we don't, do something about it. And everything needs to get the house in order.
Yes.
So I'm appealing to Mr. Shastley to get to St. Lucia as soon as.
He will
and if
be.
we have to get rid of this interim committee, if we have to do something, something must be done. But we cannot even think about this June to accommodate someone. If the person is serious about challenging for the leadership, he needs to get his act together and come and get it done now.
That's right. I agree.
We can't wait for someone who
Yes.
say, I have my business to do, so I'll be available in June. I mean, that's the biggest set of hormones.
Yeah.
That is even worse than talking. I don't know, something has to be done, TP.
Yes, I agree
So I
with you.
hope you could spare that thing and something can be done. We have to get all whatever thing in place so that the convention could be held. So all these things have to happen, and it needs to be, and it needs to happen.
Actually, I'm in agreement with you. Yes.
Definitely. So whatever you can do in your power, it needs to be done, and it needs to be done now.
Thank you. Thank you
Which
so much.
you want to be?
Yes.
We'll talk again.
Absolutely. Thank you, my brother, and thank you for your contribution. And folks, you know, the lines are still open for you to share your opinions. No one can prevent you from sharing your opinions here on Point Blank. And as long as it's done respectfully, as long as it's done in a spirit of unity, you will be allowed to be able to give your views here on Sky FM. It's now 12:45, I believe it is, and we have 15 more minutes to go until the Ant's Nest comes in with our sister Edie J. But if you still want to give us a call, the lines are still open. It's your right to be able to share your opinion and tell us what you think. Let's continue with Jimmy Cliff. Oh, we have another call coming in. Okay, let's take this one. Hello, caller, you're on the air. This is TP.
Yeah. Good morning, TP. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. TP, you see some of these people on that interim board, some of these people have been influenced by Richard Frederick and Stephenson King. You understand?
Yeah, I'm
Some of these
listening.
people have been
Yes.
influenced by them.
I'm
and
listening.
let me tell you something, TP. And if these people, if they don't take these people out from that interim board, these people will cause a lot of confusion for that party. You understand? They will cause a lot
I'm
of
listening.
confusion for that party. They need to get it off. They will not make things easy because they've been influenced by King and Mr. Frederick. That's all I have to say.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So somebody here sharing their opinion on what they think should be done. Like I said, this is a democratic country. This is a democratic organization. And so people will always be given that right to be able to share their views and so forth. Folks, you know, it's up to you. If you still want to make use of the last, I would say 13 more minutes to go before the Ant's Nest come in, and we want to hear from you. Like I said, once it's done respectfully, once it's done in the spirit of that does not seem to, cause violence denigrate others, you'll always be given that right to be able to share your opinion here on Point Blank and on Sky FM. Let's go with this music now. Okay, we have a call here. Hello, caller, you're on the air. This is TP.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Very good. How are you doing?
So far, so good. I'm good. And you?
I'm doing great.
Very good. Very good.
We're not hearing you very well, especially when you're speaking to the people.
Okay.
We only hearing the caller, and we're not hearing you.
You're not hearing me. Okay.
The voice comes out like before head.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not quite sure why. I'm not quite sure why it is that when the calls are coming in and you're not hearing me or my voice. So we'll have to sort this out with the tech person. To take care of that situation. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right, folks. I'm not quite sure why you're not hearing me, but like I said, whatever the issue is, we'll try to resolve it later today, and so that the next person who is coming on does not have that same issue that I'm having, where callers are speaking or talking, and they can't hear the communications between myself and the caller. So that must be taken care of, and hopefully we can sort this out. We have a few minutes left, and folks, it's been a great day. It's been a great day because we had the devotional segment. We went in through our love vibes, and I had an opportunity to unload certain things that I have off my chest in terms of the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party, the kind of leadership they claim to have, and everything like that. So we know very well with the Labour Party, you have not had leaders. Basically, what you have are politicians who are basically saying what they think people want to hear, and to continually lie to the masses of the people here in this country. Okay, we have a call coming in. Hello, caller, you're on the air. This is TP. How are you?
I'm doing good. Great show as usual.
Thank you.
I heard you said something last week, and I was very upset when I hear you say about Philip JPS say he don't want no trouble people to come to the meeting. If they don't have papers, he will send eyes behind them.
Well, he didn't say it himself. What I said was that he had his goons, his hacks, on slap, claiming that they are going to call ICE to arrest UWP supporters. To which I said, yes.
TV, I'm sure they had some hacks that were sitting down in the meeting.
Undocumented, and we know that. Yes. Would never. No, he would never say that. Neither would the UWP. Yes. That's right.
They were so jealous because you had the event at your house.
Yes.
It came out so good.
Yes. They couldn't match it, and they couldn't match it. Yes.
I couldn't make it. I was so upset. I couldn't get nobody to work for me. I was very upset. I couldn't make it. But I was watching it live coverage, and this turned out so good.
Yes.
That is why they run and kick their stool.
That's right.
Afraid.
Yes.
Afraid.
They are very much, very much.
St. Lucia is in a bad shape. And you look at who said some of us are very ignorant. Look at what we're talking about. The hospital is a box. I live by the Prudent Hospital in the
Yes.
It's a box.
Yes, that's right, that's right.
Inside of the box, you'll see all the equipment, everything.
And I know countless hospitals in the US and in other places in England that are shaped like boxes. But it's what's in there that is what's more important. Yes.
But
Yes.
what's inside of the hospital?
Yes.
That's what you call a hospital.
Yes.
Not the look.
That's
The
right.
hospital is
Yeah.
like a box.
Yes.
The same people in St. Lucia, they're thinking so low.
That's
and
right.
ignorant. They don't even know what they're talking about.
Well, the hacks, the liver hacks, you know. Yes, yes.
TP, when the election was coming, I saw they were showing so much nice videos of St. Lucia. Because I'm living in New York for a while. I said, wow, this is my country. I feel like going home. But when I see what's happening right there now, no, I'd rather just be up there. I'd rather just be up there.
Listen, and I can see that exactly. Yes, yes, yes.
And what happened, like, I see so many things happening in St. Lucia. They're not talking about it. All what they do, patching each other on Facebook.
This is right.
This is not good.
This is right.
not nice.
Yes, yes.
So many things happening. Why don't you talk about it? So many accidents, so many violence. Why don't you talk about it? They're just backing at each other on Facebook.
Yes.
It's not nice.
Yes, yes.
And everybody now, they refuse to say nothing happening in St. Lucia. If it's a Michael Saturday, you will all
Oh, they would be all over the place. All over the place. That's right. Yes.
They don't say nothing.
That's right.
Nothing.
Yes.
Even if it's bad, they doesn't say
Nothing. Yes, yes,
I was
yes.
just talking to an SLB supporter. She from Viewport.
Yes.
You know what she tell me? A while ago before I call you, I don't know what is going on in St. Lucia. I don't know what is going on.
And
Nothing is happening.
and she's-
Before,
yes.
she wouldn't stand me when I'm talking about my family.
This is right. But all of a sudden,
What is going on in my country?
but all of a sudden, she don't know what's happening in her country because Labour is in power. But she knows. She does know.
When I start
Yes.
telling her
Yes.
what's going on,
Yes.
she don't say nothing, but before she wouldn't stand when I'm speaking.
Yes.
She wouldn't stand it.
Yes.
But now, she have another, now. Wow. Well, St. Lucia is in a mess, and first time I see it like that.
Yes.
But thank you, TP,
Thank you.
for informing us,
Thank you.
educating us.
Thank you.
Because if it was not for your guys, probably we would know nothing.
Yes.
Because before I didn't know nothing about politics, but you all guys just educate us.
Thank you.
Especially you.
Thank you.
When it's
Thank
9
you.
o'clock, my phone, my tablet is on already to listen to
Oh, I give you that. Thank you. Yes, I was coming in. Yes, yes. Yes.
I wait, and then you come on. But sometimes I have work.
Yes.
because,
Yes, I understand. You kind of do. Quite, I understand.
Right now, I'm in the room talking to you.
Yes.
I can't speak in front of my
Yes, of course.
So,
Yes.
It was a pleasure, and continue to do the good work.
Thank you.
Continue.
Thank you.
Don't stop.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Okay.
informing us and giving us the good information.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, then.
Have a good day.
And have a good day too. Folks, just before we leave for the day, I want to say that we have something happening this afternoon at M&K in Brooklyn. So there's a fundraiser for a lady who is suffering or is sick with cancer, and at 12:30 they're going to be selling lots of foods there. And tonight there is a big dance. So I'm encouraging all of you to go out there and support. M&K have been good to us. They've opened their doors to us to allow us to have meetings as Flabo Caucus. And so I'm saying go back and go there this afternoon and give back. So food is on sale for about 12:30. I think they've just started or have just begun selling their food. And tonight there is a big dance, I think at 8 o'clock tonight. So go out there to M&K in Brooklyn and show your support. Don't stay and become a bystander, or you're just watching things occur and you don't have a say in it. So okay, I'm corrected on the time. It's 10 o'clock tonight is the dance at M&K, and 12 noon they started a food sale, and it is to benefit a lady a Carrion, who is suffering with cancer, and her husband is putting this on together, which is Joe. And I'm asking you to go out there to M&K. The address is 926 Claxon Avenue, 926 Claxon Avenue, in the corner of East 54th Street in Brooklyn, and it's happening now, even as we speak. And again tonight at 10 o'clock is the dance. So go out there and support, and make sure that you're part of it. It's only $10 for the entrance to go into the dance. So show your support, folks. M&K have always opened their doors to us, continue to be good to us, and I'm asking you to be good to them likewise. Support, support, support. So food sale going on tonight. There is the dance, and again I'll just give you the address, which is 926 Claxon Avenue, corner of East 54th Street in Brooklyn, New York. Folks, it's been a good morning. I hope what I've said today makes sense to you. You may not agree with me, and you're open to disagree with me, because this is a democracy. However, I will not use this show to not spread the word of truth. I'll not use this show to be silent on things I believe that should be given attention to. And so all I am saying to you is thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity to always present Point Blank on a Saturday morning. And I am going to make way now soon for EDJ, who is going to come soon, and it's not immediately as I go, because we have to make some little bit of transition from my show to her show, but she's going to be here soon to be able to deliver the answers to you. 1 second. Okay, and okay, folks. So now we're about leaving the show and ending Point Blank. Thank you so very much to all of you out there. I'm throwing kisses at you. I'm sending it to you, and I'm doing with utmost love, utmost understanding and respect for all you do, because I know that you could be anywhere at all today, but you choose to be here with us at Point Blank. Thank you so very much. And with this, we end the show with the Beatles.